spirit can take over anybody, whether it's good or bad. In this case, bad.
Yeah.
And that's why the aunt hurried them out of the house. Yeah, that's why the aunt hurried them out of the house, because she knew that they were going to get fucked because they're a pretty shitty family. And is that the gist of it?
Yeah, she pretty much threw them to the wolves so that way she wouldn't get caught in the middle of it.
She wouldn't get Krampused. So
yeah,
the daughter figured that out. The daughter figured that out, got real pissed off, turns into Krampus, and that's the end of this one. And then say bye-bye to the aunt, because the daughter, I guess, is now Krampus, at least for the night. I assume, we don't know this for a fact, but I assume the daughter turns back into herself the next day. She doesn't have much of a family left, does she?
Right. Yeah, I was kind of wondering that myself. I thought that was kind of, yeah.
It was a really interesting story. What do you think of this one, rating-wise? How many heart punches you got for it?
I thought it was it was more creative than the other one. So I gave that one a good 3.5. I just like the creativity of it and the job they did with Krampus and all that. It was still the same family lost in the woods, this and that, and they left it real open-ended. So, I'd say a good 3.
I'm going to go with a high 3 for the reasons that you gave. For the reasons you gave, but I have to tell you, I think the ending actually brought it up a notch too. It would just be a 3, but I say a high 3 because the ending I thought was surprising and cool. Like, it was different. Yeah. Not what I expected. It wasn't just Krampus after them. There was an explanation for it all. It was kind of, which we'll get into later, there was an end game to it, and I thought it was good, and I thought it was unique, and I liked it. I mean, I thought they did a really good job with this whole thing. Yes, it was cliched in certain parts. I don't care. I've seen so many slashers from the 80s that I could watch them all day and night and be happy. So, but
that's
no,
good 3.5.
Yeah, and this was kind of like a slasher in its own, or Hills Have Eyes type thing, where they're being hunted, but this time by a monster instead of like inbred hillbillies. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was good. Definitely a high 3, maybe even up to a 3.5.
And all right, I did like how Krampus wasn't just that guy. It was like the spirit of it, and it took her too. So that way they kind of tied some other stuff together.
Yes, absolutely. The spirit of Christmas is something that Shatner kind of talks about a bit, especially after the movie's over, because they're talking about there needs to be more cops, and he says there's dark forces at work. It's Christmas, you know what I mean? I'm like, I guess that's technically true. Yeah, Shatner, by the way, in this movie, he was funny. I mean, he wasn't hilarious, but he was amusing at least, especially if you've watched him more than once. You catch a little thing.
Yeah, little innuendos and different little one-liners and stuff. Dangerous Dave, yeah.
His drunk ass. Storm and Norman.
Yeah, basically. Storm and Norman.
Now we go to the story about the cop. The cop who we referenced earlier, who apparently investigated the murder from Christmas Eve a year ago. Well, it's Christmas Eve for them also. I've never understood the Zodiac. Looking back at, movies that you watched as a kid or even now, like A Christmas Story, what's up with these people only putting their tree up like the day before Christmas? Was that really was that the thing back in the day?
Yeah, I have no idea because my tree was always up like after Thanksgiving or some stuff like that. It was
at least December 1st at the latest,
Yeah, usually Thanksgiving weekend we would put a tree or something up or do something. Like Christmas Eve, I have no idea that's where that comes from.
So this story is about the cop that we were talking about earlier, the black guy cop who decided to, I don't know, it sounded like he retired, but I'm not sure if that's true or not. Well, in this story, he's Clark W. Griswold because he's taking his family into the middle of nowhere. What a surprise. But it's daytime, so at least we've got that going for him. It's his wife and his kid. I think it's his kid. Yeah, it is. It is his kid. I was starting to think about it because he was kind of an asshole to him, and I was like, oh, wait, it is his kid.
Yeah, from what I said, he's just still kind of messed up from all the stuff that happened and was having outbursts.
Turned him into an alcoholic.
Yeah, messed him all the way up.
Yeah. So they go out to the woods, and what they're going to do is, and this is the cop's idea, and the wife who has horrible hair, she needs to grow some or get a weave or something because it's just bad. She gets mad at him because she's like setting a bad example for their son. They're going to go like into this locked up area, this locked fenced in forest, and go steal a tree. Well, that's what they do, just like Clark Griswold, except for the fenced in part. So they go into this forest. Go ahead. You sound really far away, buddy.
Are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, cool.
You sound better now.
Oh, okay. I might have I got a new phone. I might have my finger over the microphone a little bit.
Oh, that's cool. Go ahead, though.
But yeah, I'm like, okay, isn't this guy a cop? Because I'm trying to piece this together, and I'm figuring it's the guy from earlier. And he's like, oh, it'll be fine. And there's this huge no trespassing sign, a fence. You know, oh, we'll just hop the fence and go cut a tree down on this guy's property. I'm like, okay, great example. Yeah, you're a really shitty cop. Okay, where is this going?
Yep. The mom agreed with him too, but this didn't go to a place that I expected it to go at all. You know, when they're dragging the tree back to their car, you know, nothing really went on getting the tree down. They get the tree down, they're heading back to the car, and like their son kind of wanders off, I guess, and then
of course,
because that's what they do, little bastards. God,
yeah,
fucking stay in one spot, please. Jesus. So he wanders off. They can't figure out where he is, and they finally find him like hiding in this tree, and he's all weirded out, and the dad just goes nuts on him. Like he's like, why did you? And of course, I kind of agree with the dad because I'd be pissed too if you made me freak out.
Right.
And the mom gets pissed at the dad for getting mad, and it's like just because he took him out here doesn't give the son an excuse to act like a moron. You know, that's not fair. That's bullshit, is what that is.
Right. Yeah.
Bullshit.
She's like, "What you yell at him?" I'm like, "Yelling.
It's not like you busted him in the mouth.
Yeah.
It's not like you punched him in the face. Jesus, she was a little harsh on him at that point.
I'm just picturing what my mom would have done. She's been like, "Boy, oh shit."
I have to assume that this has to probably be the culmination of something that he had been doing, because that alone was nothing. You know what I mean? Getting yelled at is nothing. Hell, I do that every single day to my kids. Fuck, I can't help myself. You know, when you do something stupid, you're going to get yelled at. It's just the way it is. So
I don't have kids, so I just yell at other people's kids. It works out.
Yes, that's a good way to be. But now you're a nice guy, so you don't do that as much. You scare like the heels. By the way, I like you as a baby face. It's pretty interesting, just for the record.
Yeah, it's the same stuff. I just beat the hell out of different people, that's all.
No, see, it's like that at IWA. The longer you're there, you're going to be liked whether you like it or not, you know?
Yeah, that was kind of a forced kind of thing. I was like, well, okay, let's just roll with it then.
It's working. We'll see where it goes. So they take the kid and the mom home, and this is where we're starting to get that the kid, something ain't right. Something ain't right. I don't know how to explain it other than to say something ain't right. The first big example we get of this is kids sitting there. I think this is the first big example, or the first one. Oh, no. Okay, the dad tries to get the kid to decorate the Christmas tree with him, and the kid's like not talking, and he's just looking up and down at the tree, and it's like he's never seen something like this before. He's looking at the ornaments. He helps the dad kind of, but he's just acting odd, and there's a lot of weird music playing in the background, so you know something creepy is going down. And but the most weird activity where it begins is the kid is sitting there at dinner just shoveling tons of spaghetti in his mouth, and the mom's being like a mom does. She's like, "You're eating too fast." And the kid's just ignoring her, just shoving food in his mouth. And the mom's like, "You're going to get a tummy ache." And he's just still shoving that spaghetti in his mouth. I'm like, that must be fucking good spaghetti. And the dad agrees because he tells the mom. She's like, this is his second helping. And he's like, well, it must be good. Let's sit down and eat. Well, he tells the kid, hey, slow down, buddy. And he, of course, ignores him again. So the dad tries to reach for the plate. And what's the kid do? The kid goes, oh, okay. And he goes, oh, okay, let's sit down and eat. Well, he tells the kid, hey, slow down, buddy. And he, of course, ignores him again. So the dad tries to reach for the plate. And what's the kid do? freaks out and tries to, he does stab the dad right in the fucking hand with his fork, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he got him good. He stabbed him right through the hand with the fork.
And the dad hops up and he's like, motherfucker, and he's ready to, like, drop kick the kid through a wall. And I have to be honest with you. If my kid stabbed me full force in the hand with a fork, no woman or anybody else on this earth is going to be able to stop me from kicking him or her through a wall, because that's fucking ridiculous. And she's just like, I'll take care of it. You'll take care of it. You better make his ass sleep out on the lawn.
Yeah, I'd have had a heart punch.
It's like, this guy needs to go. Yeah, exactly. Heart punch him, put him in some thumbtacks with the black hole slam. I mean, ridiculous. Yes. But the wife, because I guess she's been through some sort of hell because this guy's an alcoholic now, she's, like, you know, defending the kid. But this dude just got stabbed in the hand for trying to take the kid's plate. So, yeah, she acts shitty with him about that. And, of course, whatever. Now, I have to try to get the order right now. As I recall, she goes and takes a shower because it's a horror movie, but couldn't we have gotten a better specimen in the shower? That's all I'm saying. You know, there's better options out there than this chick. I mean, she looked like a dude. Anyway, so she takes a shower, and this kid, like, pops up in the shower, and she's like, get the fuck out of here. And, you know, once again, she didn't beat him like he needs. And, again, creepy, weird-ass behavior. Well, she comes into
still never says anything,
Yeah, still not a word from him, really. No, not at all. You're right. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, he probably hadn't said a word at all. She goes into the bedroom. Cop's still there. He's trying to get some from the bald chick, and she don't want any part of it. You know, and she's like, have you noticed he hadn't used his inhaler? And he's like, that's a good thing, because he's like a guy, you know. And I have to tell you, this is how it is as a dad. Anytime you see something that's a little weird, as long as the kid's not hurting, you don't give a shit. You're like, okay, well, that's good, you know. And she's like freaked out by it. But as a dad, everything in your power not to go to a doctor. A woman, on the other hand, and I'm just telling you the truth, any woman who's listening can lie to me and tell me whatever you want. This is true. Women like to go to the doctor. They like taking kids to the doctor. Men do not, for the most part. And this is one of those moments. You can just tell. And, you know, she's like, something's not right. And he's like, well, you can't take him to the doctor on Christmas Eve. Let's just keep an eye on him. Well, he tries to get some from Baldy, and Baldy ain't having it, like I said. And so he gets pissed off and leaves. You can tell that things haven't been working between those two. He's got this present under the tree for her. I guess he thinks that's going to do the trick. While he's out there, he notices that, well, I think I'm skipping a step. She goes to bed. While she's in bed,
he has a few more drinks and lays on the couch, and she goes to bed. Yeah. And then the kid starts acting weird.
He's drinking his fucking whiskey straight. She's like getting molested by this kid. That was the weirdest fucking scene of this whole movie. Like, I've watched it repeatedly, and there were a couple of weird scenes in this movie that seemed out of place. That was one of them. That was a bit much. And, like, she wakes up. Maybe it didn't actually happen. Maybe it was a dream, but I doubt it. And
I was on the fence about that one, too.
Yeah, I see. It might have been a dream.
I was like, was that real or not? Yeah, I didn't know if she was just freaked out or what.
I'll get into that here in a second, because I've got maybe a connection, and I'll get to that in a second. But the dad's out there, and he realizes that it looks like the ornaments and the presents are fucked up. Is that what you got out of this, that he noticed?
Yeah,
because it just looks like everything was fucked up.
Yeah, the presents were opened up and stuff was ripped open and that.
That dickhead. He thought he was finally going to get some from his wife, and he got blue-balled because of this kid who destroyed his presents. So, you know, he's about to beat the shit out of this kid with a belt, because the kid doesn't care. Like, he's yelling at him, the kid doesn't care at all. And, of course, he's ready to whip this kid with the belt. And what's the wife do? Defends the kid again. And he's like, did you see what he did?
Yeah, did you notice, too, when he starts to get the belt and everything else, the kid smiles? Like, that's the first time you see his expression change. He gets this big, weird smile, like, yep, that's what I was waiting for. Do it.
Yep, exactly. And he even mentions that, too. He's like, he thinks everything's a joke, and, like, the mom, of course, gets pissed. She's like, get out. And, you know, I watched that movie again today, and I'm like, fuck you, you get out. What do you think of that? I'll be goddamned if a woman ever tells me to get out. You better call the cops. I'll be damned. I won't even sleep on the couch. That's what kind of a stubborn asshole I am. So, but this guy, he's a good guy.